Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you're watching this, thank you guys for joining us. I'm just making sure that all the technical issues are working. So, anyway, check it out. Welcome to the call. If you guys are watching, you guys, a lot of you guys are supporters of our ministry and you're supporters of what we're doing. You've been watching, like some of the teachings or watching our ministry. And so I'm just going to do a small little update of our ministry for 2025. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Zach Spiegel, the founder of Zach Spiegel Ministries and Bold as Lion Ministries. And in August of 2015, you may not know this, but I started a YouTube channel called Bold as Lion Ministries. I started teaching the word. And I've always been pretty evangelistic and loving people and sharing the gospel with people on the street or in passing. Even when I was working retail, I'd constantly share the gospel with anybody who came, my way. And I just love to pray for people and minister and do God's will. I felt called to ministry when I was 17 and went to Bible school and started to do, God's ministry in the last 9 years. So in September of 2015, I decided to leave my job at AT&T and follow God into full-time vocational ministry. The only problem was that I didn't know what God was calling me to do exactly. And I spent a couple months praying and seeking the Lord. And I'd already moved a guy into my home, actually, somebody who had received Christ and then found out he was a meth addict and he needed help. So we moved him into my house actually for 3 months, slept on my couch, and we were trying to help him get sober. And I was doing street ministry, YouTube videos, and after much prayer and deliberation, I heard the Lord tell me to build the Barracks Discipleship House for men struggling with drug and alcohol addictions. And over the years, the road's been full of struggle and pain. We saw financial miracles. Men were getting sober. It was actually really excruciatingly painful, in the first 3 years, especially. And many times we wondered if someone was still okay after they left. Guys stole from us. Ex-students would slander our names. But the lives that were changed are worth so much more than all the pain we endured. A few examples of these wins are, we have Dustin, one of our first graduates. He was a first graduate. He's been sober for 6 years now and actually reunited with his kids. We have Dre. He's been working with us actually, and he's been sober for 5 years. He's been doing media and sales. Caesar, who's been sober for 2.5 years and has been the director of the Barracks for some time now. We got Mikey, who now works for the church and has been sober for 4.5 years and is reunited with his family. We have Marcus, who moved up to North Texas to be closer to his daughter and has been sober for 3 years. And many other students as well that left early, relapsed, but some of them got back on their feet again. And I can't tell you how many times people have messaged me and called me and said, Zach, thank you for the Barracks. The Barracks saved my life. And, now we're sober now and reunited back to their families. I can't tell you how many people, men's lives, they've been restored back to their families. And so it's really been an honor to be able to serve people. But, today I have an announcement to make. After 9 years of operation and serving over 150 men, we're officially going to close the Barracks Discipleship House. Sarah and I have been praying about this for about a year and sensing that God is closing this chapter of our lives. And we believe that in order for us to step into our next assignment, this is a necessary action to take. And Sarah and I are still called to ministry, and my roots are in evangelism and missions work. And I want people to realize that the Barracks was really an offshoot and a result of the ministry we already were doing, before we started taking men in. In fact, it's because we were on the street ministering to people that my eyes were open to the need for drug recovery homes. And so we're praying about what's next for our ministry. And we're not shutting down the entire ministry. We are simply no longer operating the men's home. So, and just so everyone knows, we waited until all the students in our program had either graduated or left of their own volition before deciding to make this final decision. We've done a mixture of drug recovery and missions work to unreached nations, but we believe God is having us close the Barracks and that God will, give us a new assignment. And so again, Zach Spiegel Ministries will still be an active nonprofit organization, but we're no longer going to be operating the men's home. If you're a current donor, we understand that the Barracks took the vast majority of our time and energy and focus. So if that is why you're giving, then we will have no hard feelings if you discontinue your giving. Please know that from now on, until further notice, all the donations we receive will be put into missions or the general fund. And if you have questions or want to modify your giving in any way, you can shoot us an email at admin@balmzs.com. I'll put that in the description somewhere, or you can call us at 325-998-9903 and speak with Sarah about the changes you want to make. And if you're going to make future donations, make sure you write checks to Zach Spiegel Ministries, and you can send them to 1519 Hawkins Street, Brownwood, Texas, 76801. Some people may be asking what will happen to the building fund that we raised. I want you to know that the vast majority of those funds we allocated were not actually restricted to the building fund. We actually sold a property, and that's where most of the money came from. And so we put that money into savings, and we were just going to allocate that towards the building if we found one. Also, we were moving about 7% of our handmade product sales to the building fund weekly. So only a small portion of the money allocated to building fund was actually restricted to the building fund. If you donated money to the building fund and would like to release us from the obligation of us using it towards the building alone, then we will put it in the general fund. Otherwise, we'll either look for real estate, lock the funds into that, or donate it to another nonprofit that's building that has a building project. We also have donated a trailer full of candles and air fresheners and materials and equipment to another men's home called Miracles and Blessings over in Jonesboro, Texas. And they're currently, making similar products, and we believe that this will help further their mission. As far as the metal we previously purchased for for building materials, we'll be donating the metal to Heart of Texas Baptist Encampment for their new building project. And again, Zach Spiegel Ministries is still an active nonprofit. We're going to be taking this season to be praying about what's next. We're just not going to be operating the barracks anymore. And so anyway, again, it's been an honor to serve these men. It's been an honor to love these guys. And, we're glad that God has asked us to do that and asked us to do that for the time that we've been doing it. And now we're looking forward to what the next thing is. What is God going to have us do? What is he going to actually, have us do? We don't know. We're going to spend some time praying. We're going to spend some time seeking his face. And, I don't know if you guys know, we do missions work even in India. We've been doing a lot of work there, and we planted a couple churches. We helped build some churches down there in India. So we don't know. We don't know what the future holds exactly. But this is our official announcement. And, we love you all. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for all your support. And again, thank you again. We love you all. Bless you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email or call us. Thank you.